There we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tech Biz. It's been a minute. It's been a while I've seen all of you. It's been a while we've had this conversation, and I've missed this. I know that transitioning from a weekly program to a monthly program has been a little bit of a thing for a lot of people, but we're glad because what that means is that now we can be able to bring you some really interesting speakers from all around the world. Like today's speaker, who is an expert in sustainability. So, for those who are joining us for the first time, for those who are watching our videos for the first time, TechBase is basically a co-innovation center's way of trying to re-educate the tech ecosystem across Africa. We bring in experts from across the world on different fields to come and talk to us about areas and around the tech ecosystem that we should be looking at, we should be learning about, and skills that are missing that we should know about, and of course, how to take your ideas from concept to monetization. All right. So somebody's going to share a link across all of our platforms for you to be able to follow us, join our tech biz community. This is a venue for you to be able to join and ask questions. We will always be there to give you follow-up answers and, of course, to hold you hard in issues that you need supporting. Of course, also go to our website, follow us on all our programs, and follow us on every social media platform that we are active in to be able to keep abreast with everything that we are doing. And of course, we will all be there for you to provide you with programs and with employability avenues for you to be able to upskill and become a better entrepreneur than what you are currently. So, why are we here today? Today is we're talking about sustainability and how you can build your own personal, pocket-friendly unicorn. And of course, earth-friendly unicorn. We all know just about climate change. This data is really scary. I mean, we have 70 million people predicted to be unable to, afford to go hungry in the next 50 years due to climate change. We have about $80 billion worth of damage predicted to happen to the infrastructure in the next 25 years due to climate change. And a lot of things are happening in the space, and you're wondering where do we go from here? Because unfortunately for us, if we did not solve the climate change, or if we don't plan to create solutions that are sustainable, there won't be a plan for us to build other innovations. All right. And this is one of the reasons why I'm very passionate about climate tech, because I feel like it's the foundation for everything, the foundation for everything we're building, for health tech, for fintech, for everything. Because trust me, if the planet doesn't exist, there won't be a point for fintechs. There won't be a point for health tech. There won't be a point for anything. We are all just not going to be around. So it is always important for us to think about ways to become sustainable, and we can always think about how we can leave as little footprint on our planet as possible to ensure that we don't just be able to create businesses that's sustainable, but even we can also leave a planet for our children, our children's children to be able to live and thrive in. So today's speaker is Daniel Gross. He is Dr. Daniel Gross, who is our co-founder at Sharkbite International Germany. They are one of the world's leading sustainability accelerators, and they've done fantastic work in accelerating climate tech solutions. I've followed them for a while, and I've watched their work. I've seen their programs, and they've done fantastically well. We're kind of very close friends with some of their former members, Sebastian and I can't remember her name. Is it Eleanor? Can't remember.
Laura.
Yeah, Laura. Yeah, Laura. So, so we've done a lot of work, and if there's anyone who is in the best position to tell us about what we need to do when it comes to building a sustainable unicorn or building a sustainable product, at all, it is Daniel Gross, because he is the main expert, right? So, for the next 30 minutes or so, he's going to be talking to us, making a presentation, and I expect that we are all going to be listening. Of course, if you're going to be watching this later on, I'm sure that you will be paying very good attention to what he has to say. Of course, he's available. He's going to provide his contact for us to be able to reach out to him, LinkedIn or through his email, so that you can ask questions and be able to get more direction or even mentorship, if you like, from him post this program. Of course, we are always going to be here at Economy to help you through. So at this particular point, I'm going to have to call Dr. Daniel Gross of SharkBite International, Germany, to come and make his presentation on sustainability, how to build a sustainable unicorn, quote unquote, zebra, in this modern climate. Mr. Dr. Gross, sir.
So I hope everybody can hear me. Thank you very, very much, Edwin, for having me and everybody from the Eco Center. I'm honored and excited also to share with you some of our knowledge and how to build a sustainability business. And first of all, Edwin has told you our company is called SharkBite Innovation, and you might wonder, wow, this is a strange name. Where does it come from? And a SharkBite is basically a term from innovation management. When your business model is disrupted or attacked by a new startup or a competitor or new technology, then every businessman and woman have to distinguish, is it a mosquito bite? So in German terms, I know mosquitoes can be really deadly in Africa, but in German terms, it's itching a little bit and basically it's not nice, but I can still live on and go on like normal. But of course, if you have a shark bite problem and somebody bites off your whole arm, that's really a danger, and you have to act as a businessman or woman immediately. And so we at SharkBite, we think sustainability definitely is a shark bite problem, and everybody has to react, and the whole industry and economy has to change to tackle this problem. So this is where the name comes from. We are located in Munich, Germany, and an office in Berlin. And we help, what we normally do is we help companies transforming their businesses towards sustainability. And but also, of course, we have a lot of entrepreneurs, startups, and stuff like that who wants to start their own business, and we guide them through the process. And when Edwin contacted me and said, hey, Daniel, this might be really interesting also for our audience here. Do you want to share some of your insights? I, of course, said, yes, here we are, because sustainability, climate, poverty is such a big problem. We need everybody. We need everybody from everywhere in the world to address these problems and to overcome and to solve, to offer solutions. So I'm really glad to have you here, and I will be later in the show ready to take your questions. But also afterwards, I'm happy to be contacted via email, LinkedIn, or Edwin has shown some contact points. So having said that, I have prepared a small presentation, and let me go through that a little bit. Maybe if you have direct questions, you can put them in the chat so they are I can see them, and otherwise we take these questions afterwards. So let me try to share my screen and share screen. Wait a second. I have a lot of possibilities to share. Okay. So, Edwin, maybe you can give me a sign. Can you see my screen? Okay. Excellent. Thank you very much. So, Edwin, whenever something goes totally wrong, you simply tell me and stop me, and somebody else can stop me. Otherwise, I would.
That's probably fine. We definitely do that.
Otherwise, I would go on here, and what is really the point of building your own business, and what kind of questions you might ask yourself to make it really successful, because there are many different ways to build businesses. And so we are looking, because of course everybody has heard about the unicorn a lot, which is our definition here in Germany that it's worth 1 billion euro, then it's a unicorn company and it is very attractive. But this is not the only goal. There are much smaller companies that are awfully successful as well and very sustainable. And no company at all starts as a unicorn. They all start small and going big. So you have to take first steps first. So when we ask ourselves, because we are tackling sustainability problems, and as Edwin already pointed out, sustainability has a lot to do with climate and climate change, but that's not all. There are other aspects like clean water, energy, education, gender equality, you name it. You probably know the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, which give a framework of all the dimensions sustainability is. Of course, at the moment, the focus is so much on climate, but that's not all. So I want to give you in a way, a blueprint or an idea of how to build a sustainability business. And yeah, we want to be sustainable. We want to be successful. And here is because Edwin already said, you have heard about the term a unicorn, really very, very high rated, high valued company, and something Edwin said about a zebra. And maybe the zebra, I hope, of course, the zebra is much more prominent in Africa and can be seen somewhere, but it is a really very, very in sustainability business. A zebra is the most famous animal of all. Why is that? So the black and the white stripes of the zebra, they represent two aspects. And of course, the black stripes, they stand for the profitability. You know, in every balance sheet, you have to write black numbers are much better because they are plus than red numbers, they are minus. So zebra, we are profitable, we write black numbers, but we don't do any harm. We are clean. We have a white west. We don't do any harm to our planet. So this is a representation of the white stripes in the zebra. So this kind of animal, this kind of companies we want to build, profitable and not being harmful to our planet. This is the zebra. And if you see it on a more wider range, you know, sustainability. I like sustainability. So many definitions of sustainability are around at the moment, and if you ask 10 people, you will get probably 20 definitions of sustainability. So I always start with something like what does the United Nations said, and in 1987, I think the Brundtland Commission formed this definition of sustainability, so that sustainable development is development that meets the need of the present, so of our generation here, without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. And this is really a very, very good, in my opinion, a very good definition, because it said we have to be intra-generation just. So this means industry countries and lower developed countries, they must have the same chances. And also we must leave the planet in a good condition for our children and grandchildren. So this is a very good definition. And on the right side of the picture, you see, what is really the goal of building sustainable businesses. And you see in the center, you have products and services. You know, you can have a really nice sustainable product like a photovoltaic sheets and produce them. But if you are not sustainable in your company core, for example, if you use children work to build them, then you are not a zebra, because this is not sustainable. So this is very important, that it's always two parts. The product and your company behavior and core is necessary to become a zebra, and then we can be more successful. But this is only the introduction. So now let's face, what do we need to be successful? You can see on the right lower side, there's Alexander Osterwalder, who is a guru, who is so famous in startup business. You can Google him, Strategizer. They offer a lot of tools, templates, everything. He is the inventor. You might have heard of the business model Canvas. So when you want to start up, you will definitely want to use their tools. And here's what it is. When we build a new business, which is based on innovation, we first have to define what is an innovation. And as it's written here, innovation is a combination of an invention. So we need to do something new that we have not done before. And also it has to be viable. It has to allow exploitation. Only if you can bring this new idea to the market, then it becomes an innovation. Because ideas are like sand on the beach. You have many ideas around, but only a few make it to the market, and then it becomes an innovation. And Osterwalder really puts it very nicely and said, you have to really, to become innovative, you have to follow the three rules. You have to build a desirable service. Yeah? So the customers, the users, they must love it. It has to be feasible. So you have to have the technology, and it must be able to build it. And it has to be viable. So it must bring profit in the end. So these are the three dimensions we have to always follow when we build a startup and a business. And only in the center, in the real center spot, there is a sweet spot of innovation. So if you are only having a desirable product, but no feasibility or viability, you will not be successful. So this is really, you have to always follow all three dimensions to be successful. So having said that, okay, then it comes to the point, okay, there are so many ideas, which business idea shall I execute? As I said, ideas are around many. And so I always say, first of all, of course, check what is your personal goal. When you want to build a business, do you want to get rich and a VIP and ride around? Or do you want to generate impact? Do you want to help other people? Whatever. There are many personal goals you might have. And you should be clear, because the type of business you will build really depends on the goals you select for yourself. And now let's see, of course, we want to build zebras. So we want to generate a lot of money, and we want to generate impact as well. And so how can this be done? So first of all, sustainability has a lot of dimensions. So this is the shark, as you can see. It's really famous in Europe already, because it gives you an idea about what can be done, what areas of sustainability businesses could be built. And we have 5 main classes: decarbonization, this is what we call about climate; circular economy, when we want to reuse and recycle products. Of course, we want to have have resilient supply chains, and also corporate social responsibility. And I don't know how it is in Nigeria and in Africa, but in Europe, there are a lot of regulations already around which have to be followed. So this is exactly some of these stops here, like in a subway. There could be a chance for building a business, because these are all fields where, yes, services, products, are needed. So look at that. Where are you good at? Are you good at energy management? Are you good at circularity? Are you good at certification or impact measurement? So see where your heart and your skills are, and select some spot on the sustainability landscape where you want to build your company on. And then here we go. So there are many ideas around. And I always say, if you want to, let's say you want to build a multi-million-dollar business, so which has a big market. So building a company always follows 3 stages, which is from Eric Ries, another guru of innovation. He has written Lean Startup. So there's a problem solution fit. Yeah. Do I solve a problem, and do I have a solution for that? Then second stage, can I bring this solution? Can I transfer it into a product that can be sold in the market? So that's a product market fit. And then in the end, if I have a validated business model where customers want to pay for services or goods, then I can go into scaling. And of course, in the scaling, there is a fun part when it comes about earning money and generating impact. Because when we offer our product to more people, we get both. We get more impact and we get more money. So for me, very important, what is the first lesson here? You should look for a product or service that can be easily be scaled to be successful. That's the lesson. If you have a problem that is only relevant for 2 other persons on this planet, it can be really nice and successful, but you can never earn a lot of money and you can never generate a lot of impact because the problem only occurs for 2 people. So you have to think about what can I do for scaling. And for scaling, you have to look at the markets. You have to look at the markets, and there's another really easy mechanism to do. It's the so-called TAM-SAM-SOM. So you have the total addressable market. The total addressable market, there's an example on the left side, on the right side here, which is the coffee market. So the total addressable market, when you, for example, want to sell a fair trade coffee, of course, are all coffee drinkers in the world. This is the total addressable market. But maybe you are located in the Nigerian action or in your community, so you cannot serve the total addressable market, but you have an addressable market, which is probably more regional. Maybe the product has also some limitations. So that's the serviceable market. And also, it's really unlikely that when you really build a successful business, that you will be the only supplier. There will be competition, and competition is always good. I like competition a lot because when there's competition, there's a market. When you are totally alone in the market for 10 years, probably there's something wrong. Because if you would have been awfully successful, somebody would have copied your idea. So in the end, that's the SOM, the share of market or serviceable obtainable market. And here's what you have to make your homework and your calculation. If your total addressable, or better, the total serviceable market is not big, is not over 1 billion euro worth, then it's absolutely impossible that you become a unicorn or a successful zebra because the market is too small. So first of all, you have to make your mathematics and find the market and see, probably, is there a reasonable sized market which I can serve with my startup and become successful. If the market is really small, then it's also nice, but you cannot really be super successful. So this is one first thing. When you look about scalability, you can only scale in big markets. So having said that, there are basically two ways to build sustainable businesses. And the one is that focus on sustainability. The one is that you help other companies to become sustainable. So you offer services like rating, like CO2 measurement, like sustainability strategies. Like we are a consulting company, the Sharks in Germany. So we help other companies to become successful. And I only have written down some of the fields you can do that. And there's an example, really very new. You can see from June 20th, 10 days ago, there's a sustainability rating agency, EcoVadis, and they just got a funding of $500 million US, and they are definitely a unicorn, or they are zebra with a unicorn on the top. So there is a lot. It's possible to build businesses when you help other companies to become sustainable. This is the one way. The other way is you offer sustainable products and services yourself. And so you can go in the decarbonization, you can offer ways how to save energy, how to capture carbon dioxide, things like that, or in the circular economy, how to recycle, to repair things. Energy is another area. We here in Germany, we have a very successful unicorn, a unicorn zebra. I don't know, maybe there's a new name for that in the future, which is Enpal. And they simply, they rent out, in a way, photovoltaic systems to private homeowners, and they do all the money and put the photovoltaic sheets on the roof, and so they are renting space. And they are only, you can see, they started only 6 years ago, and they now just got an investment in last December. So they are also a unicorn now. As you can see, this is definitely not rocket science. It is really easy, straight business. It's a good idea, and they have a very, very good addressable market, and they have a good business model, and they do everything online and stuff like that. So you don't have to be the most clever engineer or something like that with a really complicated idea. There are easy business models that can be, if they are done in a good way, they will be very, very successful. So having said that, okay, now I have decided which area I want to go in, decarbonization. I have decided whether I want to help other companies to become sustainable, or whether I have a product or something like that. So then the next question is, what is the next step after I have decided on which problem is worth solving and where am I good at? And this might give you a little bit of idea of what might make sense. Here again, we have the 3 ways of building businesses. You have the consulting, which is help other companies become sustainable. Then you, of course, can produce a product yourself with workers in a factory and stuff like that. Or you offer something like a web-based service, a platform, or something like that. And always you have to think about, you need capital, you need people, and you need time to build your service. And here you can see a little bit from our experience the 3 different areas where you how you need what is needed to build these businesses. And when you don't have a lot of capital, then you would definitely not start with a production, because building up a production takes a lot of money. And if you don't have a lot of people around which are skilled, then you would definitely not start a consulting business, because a consulting business is scaling with the people. You know, when you can't work more than 8 hours, or 10 hours, 12 hours a day, but then you need somebody else to do the next project. And so probably if you really want to get fast and start fast, thinking of a web-based service or product, like the both unicorns I have shown you before, makes good sense. Yeah. The only question here is how long does it take to be successful? And there's the big advantage of having, for example, a consulting company. You know, you buy a laptop and then you're ready to go. The next day you can start doing business. When you have to build a platform or web-based service, you need programming, you need some time, so the time to market is a little bit longer. But so this gives you an idea. And if you don't know anything and you just want to start, web-based services are you can be preferred in a way. And then after you have done that, you have to select for yourself what we call a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goals. You have to really, if you want to be successful, don't think small. You really have to think big. And what do you want to achieve in 10 years time, maybe in 15 years time, because this is your North Star you really want to follow. And I brought you the example from what is our SharkBite vision or big BHAG. And you can see it's nothing less than we will foster a new form of economy which respects the planetary boundaries and promotes social justice. That's our goal. This is why all my colleagues come to work every day to follow this ambitious and audacious goal. And we have a lot of things to do to achieve that, but this is really very, very motivating for everybody to go there. And then we have some missions here, as you can see, but this is where you start from. And when you have this North Star defined, what do you want to achieve? Now comes the point of, okay, how do I solve the problem? What kind of product or service can I do in the end? And as we said in the beginning, the solution is becoming innovative. Yeah, build an innovation. And how can you do that? So what we do at SharkBite, we define, first of all, you have the vision here, the big hairy goal. I told you about that. So we discover what this, and then we find out what are our biggest problems. Maybe they are in climate change, maybe they are in a circular economy, maybe they are in gender equality or stuff like that. And then there are different ways of innovation which you should be aware of when you want to develop a new service or a product. And they differ a lot in a way from standard innovation methods. First of all, there is, you probably are very aware of digitalization, Internet of Things, and we call it, you can become green by software. For example, very, very, very simple is when you have a light detector. So the light only goes on when somebody enters the room. And if somebody leaves the room, then the light goes out. You save a lot of energy. Very, very simple example. So green by software. And we have know-how and there's scientific evidence already that the software, the IoT market, Internet of Things market, will contribute with over 30% to sustainability problems in the future. So really a big market here and a big chance. And the other part is being green in software. So the way you write your software, is your software energy efficient? You know, is your website producing a lot of carbon dioxide? Is your solution, so how is it coded? So this is meant by green in software, because you can save a lot of carbon dioxide if you do it right. So digitalization is topic number one. Second is decarbonization, and this is what Edwin talked in the beginning about. How can we eliminate carbon dioxide? And there are always the four ways of decarbonization. The best case is a so-called capturing, that when you really take carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere and store it and do not use it again. So you take something out of the circle, and you can do this with in forests, in big lakes. I don't know the correct English word. Algae, the green flowers that are on the lake. They store a lot of carbon dioxide, which can be out of the can come out of the system. So the second best, of course, is avoid. Don't produce carbon dioxide at all. Then how can we reduce carbon dioxide? So maybe technology can work with that. And then if we have done everything, the rest of the carbon dioxide we need for manufacturing our products and services needs to be compensated and offsetted or whatever. And at the moment, many offsetting chances are in planting trees everywhere. But in the future, you will find other ways how to compensate more efficient in a way. So this is, we have software digitalization, decarbonization, and the third area you should look at is circular economy. Just a short introduction. What is circular economy? Of course, you don't, in the opposite of the linear economy, where you take something, you make something, you use something, and then you dispose something in a landfill. In the circular economy, you will keep the parts of the product in use. And definitely this is the future, because all our raw materials are limited here. So we have to definitely go into the circular economy. And this is especially where the sharks are very strong at. And there's always a nice question. The basic idea of circularity is design out waste, you know? So design your products and services that they, in the beginning, they don't produce waste. And so why is design, and everything is designed. Your clothes are designed, your business model is designed, your toothbrush is designed. Design is all around us. And so it's so vital that you do a good design in the beginning, because, and there's some, maybe you have heard it, once you have put all the materials and ingredients together, it's really hard to unscramble a scrambled egg. Once you have put everything together, it's really difficult to take it apart again and reuse it. So really make up your mind in the beginning, when you design your products and services, how can you design out waste? And there's really another guru and of circular economy This is the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. They offer a lot of source, and this is really the most important slide here. It is called the butterfly model, because the two sides look like the wings of a butterfly. And you have a biological cycle here and a technical cycle here. And there's one thing you have to understand, because normally everybody thinks, oh, recycling, that's cool. That's really circular economy. But as you can see on the right side here, the recycling part is really the most outer loop here. It's in a way like compensation for decarbonization. Recycling is the last step you should do. For the circular economy, you always talk about closing the loops and to keep products in use longer. Use your mobile phones for 10 years, make it upgradable, make it add new cameras on, repair it, and stuff like that. Reuse it, refurbish. We at Sharkbite, we only use refurbished furniture. We use refurbished laptops, computers, everything. Maybe they are 1 year old and the people are exchanging them. Why? They are still really very good. Keep the products in use much longer. So this is something where you can build a lot of new business models, sharing business models. Who is the best owner for a product? Do I really have to sell everything, or is it better to rent out things and to share things? So this is all in the circular economy. So there are a lot of chances here to build businesses that are sustainable. So now I think you have all the ingredients to build your business, at least at a very, very short form together. We have looked about the sustainability landscape. You remember the shark here. Where are spots where I can provide services and have skills? Then you have looked at the market. Where do I have a nice big market where I can offer my services to become really successful? Then I set myself a huge vision, a goal. What do I want to achieve? And then I build my product with innovation, either digitalization, decarbonization, or circularity. These are the three fields you should really look at and look into to find ways how to build your businesses. And when you really start, again, look at the Osterwalder, enter Osterwalder in your search engine, and you will find a lot of tools and helpful things. And so how is the process? When we work as a Sharks, when we work with our clients and customers, so we always have a standard procedure in a way. We have talked about, you see in the upper left, there is a vision. This is a big, hairy goal, big BHAG, yeah? So where do we want to go? And every company has to answer this question. What do we want to become famous for? Really important. Then from there, we look, okay, when from this idea, from this business, which of the SDGs are affected? And we normally say, of course, there are 17. Don't look at all of them at the same time. Select 3, maximum 5 SDGs and define goals for them. Yeah? And then you can go on and you have metrics, you must make it measurable and stuff like that. But here then it comes in the latest, what measures? There comes innovation. How do we achieve this goal? What kind of products and services do we have to offer to become successful? And so if you start your business journey, it's good in a way to follow this path. It goes from vision to SDGs to goals to metric to external review and then the measures. This is a really good project, a path to build a business. So this was a lot of information here. I hope you liked it a little bit and you might have questions. And of course, we are ready to take some questions you might have. And also, Edwin, probably you can of course share the slide deck, and you can see our. This is a colleague from mine, and you can see me here as well. You're really very welcome, everybody, to get in contact with us and tell us your ideas or ask for help, because really the Sharks, we are intrinsically motivated. We need every good idea and every entrepreneur in the whole world. So it was a real big pleasure for me that you had me. And yeah, hopefully I shared some interesting information to you. And yeah, so Edwin, I stop sharing my screen now.
You're good.
What can I do? Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate what you've been able to bring to the table. I've been taking notes on my phone, and it's really interesting because I've been seeing I've seen a lot of things, and what I've noticed is that, and this is one reason why we at Eco Innovation Center try to create EcoClimathon. There really hasn't been enough intellectual investment, at least from the African point of view, into climate change and climate tech. And I'm just looking at it. The more I look at it, I can see that there are so many opportunities. I mean, I understand that one of the challenges that we are facing here in Africa is that companies themselves are not really looking at sustainability here, but I think that is changing, and we are moving into an area whereby everybody is going to be looking at how can we make our business more sustainable, because that's really the only way to go, right? So, thank you so much again, and I really said thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us across South Africa. We really appreciate your efforts, and we really I know that this is something that usually we have to pay lots of cash to get this information, and you're giving it to us for free, and we can't thank you enough for doing this. But I personally, before I even go start asking questions from the audience and people that are watching across all our platforms, I personally have a question. So you said, if I wanted to start a startup or a consultancy or something around climate tech or sustainability, and I'm asking this because we have a lot of entrepreneurs here who are, maybe a lot of them are actually looking for ideas, right? And I really encourage people to really look at this area and maybe, I don't know, see how they can engage you. But if I wanted, and this is me having no idea, no experience with climate tech, nothing at all, and I just said, okay, you know what, I want to join the fight, I want to create something in climate tech, how do I begin that process, especially if I want to engage SharkBite International? What would it take?
Okay, and so interesting that you say, if you don't have an idea. I think ideas, the point is always, the starting point is not the idea. The starting point always is the problem. Look at the problem, and if you go around and with open eyes through the world, you see a lot of problems. Because the problem in the scaling, you remember, maybe I go back for a second. What we really had in the beginning was this here, the problem solution fit. This is the first step. Find a problem which is worth solving. Many people have that. And for you, for example, probably in Africa, maybe energy and access to energy, stuff like that, this might be a problem. But also maybe access to clean drinking water, access to medical. There are so many problems around. And then see, where are my skills, my personal skills, which can help. Do I understand the problems? Of course, if I'm a medical student or something like that, maybe I want to do something with the health system. If I'm an engineer, then maybe I'd want to do something with energy or photovoltaic or something like that. So that's one thing. But this is the first part of your question. I think the second part, yeah, you're right. It's not for everybody to start a business, and you want, but still you think you are intrinsically motivated to become part of the solution in sustainability. At the moment, and I can't say what's happening in your country, but here in Europe, all the companies are looking for sustainability help and advice and service. And so on the other hand, there is not so far not a lot of education, even here in Europe, how to become a sustainability manager or stuff like that. So it's really about intrinsic motivation, and it's about things you have done. When I look at my shark colleagues around here, nobody has a degree in sustainability, but they all have worked in project where they here in Europe we have big problems of food waste. Very good food is thrown away, which can still be used, and so they had some projects there of saving food and bringing it to the to some place where they can still build something. So it's really showing intrinsic motivation for sustainability. And if you have that in your CV, in your when you apply for a job or something like that, this is the most important thing. They have to be you have to be passionate about sustainability, and the market for employees that can offer some kind of input here, at least in Europe, from my point of view, is huge.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. So does anybody have any questions? You just I'm going to reach out to the admins who are monitoring the sessions across the platforms. Do they have anyone with questions who have put questions in the chat box? Please copy and paste them here so that we can be able to ask our facilitator those questions. Just one final question from me. So how important is it? I mean, so one of the challenges that we have here in Nigeria is basically waste management. And you know that waste management is one of the biggest areas when it comes to sustainability, because what we do have is that we're generating more waste than we can manage. So what happens is that in Lagos here, we burn some of these things in an open landfill, which which makes the atmosphere unbreathable. Of course, there's an area where if you pass by, the smell alone is enough to choke you, right? And then we're looking at it, and so what solutions exist currently for? I mean, everybody knows about recycling. We have some people who are already trying to do recycling and stuff, but for some reason they haven't caught fire yet. I mean, we've not seen the like the viability with regards to them being able to make some kind of significant income to motivate others to even try and go into it, because trust me, there is a lot of waste. But then how exactly are you guys solving your waste problem that you think that we can be able to apply here in Nigeria?
Yeah, so a good question. And as I told you in the beginning, this is here you can only tackle the problem of waste when you go into the circular economy style. So the design out waste. This is what we teach our customers, how to build products that do not go to the landfill, but can be easily dismantled and stuff like that. So this is what I said about closing the loops here. But one thing, Edwin, I know the time is maybe not come, also not in Europe, but my strong belief is that in 20 years we will come with some robots and dig up all the landfills we have, because there are so many valuable raw materials in there that can be used and recycled. So this will become the people, or hopefully not the people, because you're right, the smell and you can't breathe and stuff like that. But materials that are in there, they will become more and more valuable. And sooner or later, there are business models that are viable to dig them all up and get the batteries and get the metal and get the whatever out of these landfills again. My guess, 20 years. Of course, this is too long. We have to do something before that. But Edwin, here in Europe, all the companies we have here, they have already very, very strict regulations about circularity and stuff like that, and waste. And so they have the biggest problem is, how do I get raw material from the production that is already recycled? Where can I buy recycled rubber? Where can I buy recycled plastic? There are not many suppliers of that. We have a shortage of these recycled materials here in Europe because the companies want to use them, but there's no supply. So I'm really confident that there's a big chance for I always say that recycled material supplier. This will come, and there are big chances in that.
So if I hear you correctly, so it seems that there's a challenge with. So I can see where the gap is here. So we don't really have, and I'm saying this for everybody that's watching, right? There's a really big opportunity here. So we don't really have facilities to recycle plastics. What we normally do is that we package the plastics and try to ship it off to another company who will recycle them. So what you're saying, if I hear you correctly, that we need to be able to build local recycling capacity here so we can be able to export finished products across the world, right?
Exactly. If you have a raw material of PVC or whatever, there is a huge world market already for that. And I know that for the last 20 years, all European and Western countries sent their rubbish and their waste to Africa because they don't want to see it, or to Asia also, to India and Malaysia and stuff like that. And now this is we need, in a way, we need the materials back. It's really crazy. It was total nonsense to do that. And so if you can find a way, and I know in the beginning this is probably really hard to establish because collection systems and stuff like that. But maybe in your community, if you say, come on, don't bring your empty water bottles, throw them away, but you can bring them all to my small factory, and for a big box I pay you I don't know what, and then you have them to collect them. This is the most difficult part, to get the material to your factory, because when you have a good selection process, it's relatively easy to recycle and to make small pellets and stuff like that from the material again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. I'm looking at it and I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm guessing people are either really very confused or really understand what you're saying. So I'm going to allow people to just take some time, and of course, you just share your contact details. Okay, good. You're sharing them now, and the slides are going to be available on our website for you to download. And of course, please, there are serious opportunities here, and I really want. And unfortunately, this climate tech is a billion-dollar industry, multi-billion-dollar industry, especially here in Africa. We are not yet scratching the surface on what can be done. I mean, every time we look, there's so many angles that we can look at it from the industrial aspect to consulting, so many aspects, and we really need to start getting in there. All right. So, thank you, Daniel. I really appreciate your time, and unfortunately, the time has come to an end. We can't wish we could stay with you longer, but we can't, because I'm sure you have other things you have to do. And I do hope that you, of course, that when our entrepreneurs reach out to you, that you will respond. I understand that you're a very, very busy person, but please do, because we are very, very, very interested in climate tech, and we're looking at how we can be able to, throw our hearts in the ring to ensure that we are out there in the forefront in Africa's efforts to solve the climate problems. All right. So thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate your time and for watching. And of course, I know that for those who are going to watch this afterwards, you will find this very, very interesting. And I really wish you change your mind about watching afterwards and actually join us in the live event, because there's so much you can do, so much you can learn, and it's always great to have that tete-a-tete with the speaker. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Daniel, Dr. Daniel. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, SharkBite International Innovation. I keep calling you SharkBite International. I don't know why.
It's okay. Because SharkBite International.
Thank you, everyone. And I hope that we do get to see you again next month. Thank you, sir. So have a great day.
Thank you very much. Good luck. Stay healthy. And everybody who has an idea he wants to share and he wants to have some advice on in this field, really, you're welcome to contact us, and we will give you feedback whether it's a good idea or whether it's a stupid idea. But we would be happy to stay in contact. And Edwin, once again, thank you very much for having me. And good luck, and hope to talk and see you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah. I try to leave the show. I have no idea.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I close it. Bye-bye, Edwin. Thank you very much.